Welcome back to Podcast Recovery, everyone. We're your hosts, David O.
And Carly R.
And as always, behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz, Eric V.
Yep.
And today we're joined by our very special guest, Emily. How are you doing today?
I am swell.
Swell.
I like swell.
That's a fantastic answer. I don't think that's the first swell we've ever gotten. Nice. I'm waiting for a fine and dandy. Haven't gotten it yet. We'll get there. Where are you from?
I grew up in Harford County. I came here today from the beautiful city of Dundalk.
Oh, it's lovely there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
It has a great smell.
I do not live near the shit plant.
Yeah.
When we were buying our house, I made sure to tell the realtor, I do not want to smell the shit. So.
Well, you're in Dundalk.
Yeah.
So. He did us a solid. We are over by the port.
Okay.
So we don't actually smell the shit.
At least you got the wind coming off the water. You're fine, man.
That's probably not a better smell.
Yeah, it's probably...
Anyway, when were you first introduced to recovery?
This is terrible, but the first time I went to a meeting, I actually went there to try to cop.
No, I did too. It's fine.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm glad that it wasn't just me. So if you want to count that as the first time that I was introduced to recovery, I would say maybe like 2011.
Okay.
But the real time that I was introduced to a 12-step fellowship was probably about 2014. I went to AA and I tried really, really hard to stop doing bad things. But they were very walking a thin line on you have to stop doing drugs.
Yeah.
So I did continue to smoke weed and do pills, but I did not drink.
Oh,
Success.
There you go. That's AA success for you.
I was successful for 4 months. I got a 4-month chip.
Nice. And how long have you been clean?
It'll be 7 years in 3-ish weeks, I think.
Yep.
So,
All right.
good amount of time.
Hell yeah. Well, congratulations on that. And with all that out of the way, I'm going to turn it over to you to share your story with us. So take it away.
All right. I was born in December of 1989. After you use for a long time, your memories are super spotty. So, like, I really don't remember much about being a kid other than...
Hey, you were born in the 90s, weren't you?
Oh,
91.
Oh, wow.
that's barely the 90s, you know?
It's the 90s. The 90s are the 90s. When I was born, the Soviet Union still existed.
Barely. It's
Do you
like
remember
the wall
the Soviet-
fucking fell like... fucking
2 years later.
No.
Yes. It
Was
fell
it
in 89. Yes.
I was 88.
Yeah. I was a Ronald Reagan baby. Anyway, sorry.
A Reagan baby? The good Reagan? With
There's
the bad
no
wife?
good Reagan.
Was there a good
There's
Reagan?
No good Reagan.
Was there more than one Reagan?
We have
Ronald Reagan?
We have talked about presidents on this show.
We're not getting into it now. We're
Reagan-
off the rails. We're off the rails.
The
Shut
best-
up, Eric.
The best
Keep going.
president was George W. Bush because he choked on a pretzel and he said all those stupid things.
Okay, fair
Fool me
enough.
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. That's such a
George
great man.
H.W. Bush.
December 1989.
December
You were born.
1989.
Okay.
You don't really remember much about being a kid, I'm sure. No one does, right?
No.
They're lying if they say that they're like, I remember being a baby.
You have specific memories, though, right? Like, you have the ones that are ingrained in you.
I mean,
The
yeah.
specific one I have is like, I guess I was like a younger baby, and we have my mom, like I said earlier, we were talking about my sister and I being Irishish twins, being like 14 months apart. So she had me and my sister, we were like little babies, and I don't remember like seeing my sister or my mom, but I do remember seeing like the out of the screen of our first house, and my mom, huge Beatles fan, little hippie lady, singing Across the Universe, like kind of like rocking us. So I remember hearing
song.
like her voice and just kind of like, I guess, closing my eyes, falling asleep. I do remember that. That's an awesome memory to have.
Yeah.
But I have a brother too. He's 6 years older than me. Total shitbag. So he...
Yeah, we usually are.
Dude, I don't understand why. Older brother, little sisters, why are you such assholes?
No, it's the other way around.
love my little sister.
You need the big sister and then the younger brothers.
Exactly.
I'm convinced.
Because the big sisters are kind,
Yeah.
and they look out for you.
They'll be like a
What
mom.
big sisters did you didn't... Were your sisters kind?
She's a girl, though. It doesn't count. It has to be a boy.
Okay. Is that true?
Well, I'm asking you, David. How
No.
are your older sisters to you?
2 out of the 3 were fine. The third was a shit fucking
So you did really
stick.
well. They loved you. 2/3
guess.
loved you. That's better
guess.
than half, right?
Well, no, that's not true. My oldest sister fucking hated me because I was the reason that her father got divorced from our mother.
There's lots of very sad things that
Lot to
happened in your
unpack.
childhood.
We're
yeah.
digressing.
Wow.
Continue with your story. Shut up, Eric.
Yikes.
Yes.
Everyone heard that gas. Yeah.
Damn, man. So anyway, yeah, my brother's a shitbag. He ingrained early in me that I was not cool and I was very fat. And how did you tell that to a little kid, man?
Were you fat?
Oh, for sure.
Shut up, Eric.
I was asking.
Dude, yeah. So I was a fat kid my whole life. So of course I was bullied.
sorry.
My sister, not a fat kid. Not bullied. So she got the good genes, man. She is skinny with a big butt.
So you had like this thing you had to compete with your entire life.
Oh yeah, but she was stupid. I love her to death, but I got the smart genes.
Got that, yeah.
And being like a year younger than her and being in classes ahead of her, so I got to help her pass all of her shit. Okay. So I gave her that advantage. She got to be hot, and that's kind of like how her life went.
What's better, I guess, being hot or being smart?
Neither.
You know?
Neither. You need to be a balance.
You know?
You gotta have enough.
As I
of
stare
both
at David intently.
Stay behind the curtain, you turd. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Being hot isn't great, and being smart isn't great because both of those can fade. You can get stupid, and you can get ugly.
Okay. All right.
It sucks.
All right.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
So I'm competing with this really attractive girl who, like, anytime somebody would want to talk to me, they're like, "So what's up with your sister?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And that feels like shit because, like, you get a little confidence sometimes because people are like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And, like, you got your friends and you're in your sister's friend circle, and then they don't want to fucking talk to you. They want to talk to the hot girl, and you're like, "God damn it!" It didn't help that I was also really fucking weird. And, like, that never changed. Like, I was really weird. I listened to a lot of The Cure, a lot of Depeche Mode. I had a lot of really bad haircuts.
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode's great.
Depeche Mode, yeah. Yeah. And then I got really into industrial metal music.
Now we're speaking my language.
Like, really, this was, the up-and-coming of, like, LimeWire and Kazaa. So you just kind of, like, throw some weird terms in there, and you get some really underground weird shit, and you're like, this is the fucking shit, man. And there used to be, I don't even know if it still exists, on Route 40, it was the House of Rock or something like that used to have all of these weird, like, bands that would just come through, and I would go there all the time. And
I've never heard of that.
I don't think it's real anymore. It might have turned into, like, a restaurant or something.
Probably.
It was over by, like, Costco.
Oh, okay. Over down here? Like by like Cadence? Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was over by like Costco on Route 40, and they would just have bands come through. And then there was like in Towson,
Towson had
that place over
the
by
Theater.
Yes.
The Wrecker Theater.
Yes, Towson had something.
I played the
too.
Wrecker Theater.
I wound up working there later. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So I always went to these shows. Like I said, I was really fucking weird. I dressed weird. I did weird eye makeup. No, we didn't have makeup tutorials.
You were a goth kid?
I don't know what I was.
Okay.
It was a mismatch of whatever the fuck was going on there. Yeah. So my sister knew how to do makeup. She knew how to dress. Like, so I'm this sloppy motherfucker just running around. I didn't fit in anywhere.
You were Ali Sheedy in The Breakfast Club. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably a really good depiction, actually. Yes. That's some self-reflection to get later. Yeah.
I need to go watch The Breakfast Club again.
We'll think about that on the drive home. So yeah, I was Ali Sheedy with the, like, down to the dandruff, man. Leopard print mohawk at one point, like.
Nice.
No, not for a fat girl. It really accentuates the double chin when you're wearing a collar. Oh. Don't sympathize with this.
That's terrible. Keep going.
It's not terrible.
Okay.
It was the person I was, and that shapes you. So, you go to those shows, and there's just fucking beer around, and you're gonna drink it. And I didn't have anything else to do because I didn't have anybody to talk to, so I just kept drinking. Nice. And I don't know how long y'all have lived here, but there was also the Black Hole.
The Black Hole.
Oh, well, right. So there was Dundalk.
Rave Club?
Rave Club.
Yeah.
They were from the second floor. You knew shit was going down. That is where the serious weird drugs came in. Yeah. And I was not very old when this happened. I was maybe like 16, 17. Holy shit.
So wait, what was your first drink?
My first drink was Budweiser.
Okay.
Yeah. Came out of my dad's fridge. My dad is a raging alcoholic, but we don't talk about that in my family.
No, no, of course not.
It's okay that he drinks. He has road sodas all the time, cooler full of beer, always with him. Constantly. I'm the only person in my family who has not had a DUI. The irony is not lost on me.
I don't have a DUI. You don't have a DUI. Eric, you don't have a DUI.
Nope.
Sweet.
Fucking crazy, right?
All four of us. Dodged the law.
How the fuck? I've wrecked cars. I have done dumb shit.
Yep.
Oh, God. So, drinking, but then I saw all of these, like, hey, this is a pill. This is a powder. Let's get rocking, man. So, just hallucinogenics out the ass. Just raving my little ass off at a teenager. Not even knowing what it meant.
Yep.
Well, that was fun. It was fun enough, but, you know, it wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be. So, of course, we were all sold the lie, go to college after high school. And me being around all these bands all the time, I was like, I want to be a sound engineer. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to be a roadie. Yeah. What's up, man?
That's what my degree's in.
I have 2 degrees and I don't use either of them. I have a degree in sound engineering. Don't do a fucking thing with it.
I don't do
to be honest,
anything with it.
I feel a little less than because I have 3 college graduates sitting here and I'm not that at all.
You don't have any debt, right?
Huh?
It's not all that great.
It's really not.
I mean,
I didn't have a college experience. I didn't have those like party mode or anything because I was busy doing my own little party, drinking cough medicine with 2 people for like a year straight.
I'll be honest though. So to really
totally digress. It's cool.
Totally digress. Well, not really. It's applicable. So like when I was like 18, 19, 20. I was so jealous of you guys. I really was because like I'm smart enough that I could have gone to college, but I didn't because I chose drugs. But like all my friends who like went off to college and were like doing shit with their lives, I actually felt like they were doing something with their lives, and I was just a piece of shit, you know, living in a Pontiac Vibe, doing shit tons of drugs.
That's a good car.
Vibe.
And I was severely jealous of everybody who was making something of themselves, and I felt like a piece of shit because of it, and it kept me using. Anyway, keep going.
That's terrible.
It's bad.
A Pontiac Vibe is a good car.
It was fantastic.
It's just a Toyota Matrix made by Pontiac,
I know,
and that is a solid car.
It got killed by a fucking deer in recovery. I was so sad.
Fuck.
I was so bad. I'm so sad. Anyway,
Damn.
Continue. So you're raving.
So I'm raving. I'm trying to go to college. I was always smart, like in school, because I had to compensate for being that stupid fat piece of shit with the weird all of that.
Oh God.
Self-deprecation is a great form of humor to mock all of that
It's my
horrible
favorite
insecurity,
pastime.
right? So I had to compensate with all that by being really smart. Of course, you find your drugs to keep you awake, to go to school, get all that done. I passed somehow. I think that internships are really just, you know, low-paying piece of shit jobs, so I wind up working at like the record, doing random sound stuff in the back. It wasn't very good paying. I think it was like $15 an hour, which at the time was low and okay. It would still buy me drugs.
Well, when was that? Like early 2000s?
I think.
$15 an hour back then was pretty good money.
My first job was $10 an hour in a warehouse.
My first job was
My first job was like $5.25.
Yeah.
I was caking.
Mine was $5.25.
Good Lord. What was your first job?
Um,
Did you work in high school?
no.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, man.
My parents didn't make me. They made both my sisters, but I was playing so many sports that they
You're
didn't
the
make
baby.
me play.
What'd you
You're the baby.
Work.
What sport did you play?
I played basketball and softball year round.
Sick.
I worked.
See, I was jealous of you because I wanted to be good at basketball.
You're pretty tall. You're
I was fat. I couldn't run.
God damn it! It just keeps going back to the fat. I'm sorry. Oh God. That's terrible. Okay, so you're at Wrecker Theater.
So I'm at Record Theater, and then I start working at the Black Hole. Full circle. They get shut down because the guy is selling cocaine out of it.
Yep.
Shocker.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So some friends that I met there, we wind up figuring out that, hey, like actually went to high school together in Aberdeen. Let's, you know, I'm still living at my parents' house at this time, of course.
You grew up in Aberdeen?
I did.
Oh, so you're a rich kid.
Rich?
My brother in
Aberdeen?
Christ.
Aberdeen has some really rich parts, dude.
It does, but the school is not rich.
Aberdeen?
Okay. Yes.
I just, like, I mean, when I'm thinking Maryland wealth.
So what you're thinking is Bel Air.
No, my wife grew up in Bel Air. Bel Air's poor as shit. It depends.
Parts of
It
it.
depends on if you're Bel Air North or Bel Air South. It
I
depends.
sold my drugs to Bel Air kids.
Okay.
I also was fooled my whole life into thinking that the John Carroll kids had cocaine, but they bought their cocaine from us.
This is the most Maryland podcast ever.
I was shooketh when I found that out. I was so fucking pissed. Dude, right? That's all I have to say, and that's all.
What's the John
It's
Carroll?
the fucking assholes of the entire private school kids in Harford County. They
that
are
true?
these stuck-up ass
Yeah.
motherfuckers whose parents have all this money, and all they do is just go there,
See, I felt that about
drink
Mount St.
shitty
Joe.
beer.
I felt that about Mount St.
Why
Joe.
did you feel that about Mount St. Joe?
We've talked about this. I have a resentment against rich people.
I have a resentment
Which you've
against John
apologized
Carroll.
for, and I thank
We
you.
apologized. Yeah.
Yes, thank you from the riches.
that makes sense.
Mount St. Joe, though, like that's our school. Like that's who we hate. Like over here,
Dude,
Then I guess
there were
John
so
Carroll
many
is who
fucking-
we hate.
Yeah, there were so
I mean,
many.
John Carroll was definitely like rich and preppy and stuck up. I mean, we played him in sports, so I went to
I guess 'cause
CSU.
a lot of-
went to
so I went to the
ghetto
poor
of,
Catholic school.
the Catholic schools, right? Like he was like the
Yeah.
ghetto of the Catholic
Yeah,
schools.
yeah, that's where I went.
you know, Gibbons and Kia.
But I guess I don't know.
Mount St. Joe is no longer kind of at the top of the.
Yeah, they're fuck that. School.
I just think
They accept like everyone and everything. And,
I think that's the transplant, the main one from Columbia and Howard County.
And
I think
great
most
Baltimore
they
County.
all go to Mount St.
I
Joe.
mean,
I don't think they
they-
go to Carroll.
no,
Probably not.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
So I guess that's why. That was just
well.
the
This
one
is
I was
it's because
exposed
it's on
to.
this side of the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
So let me explain something about when I went to Aberdeen High School.
okay.
They had to make one of the hallways one way because people wouldn't stop fucking fighting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was my
Schools.
Yeah, that was my
That
high
is-
school.
School.
Yeah, school.
They pushed a handicapped person down the steps.
We had a kid get curb stomped in my
Right.
ninth. Like when I was in ninth grade, he got curb stomped in
I saw a
during
kid
lunch.
get beaten with a fucking a golf driver. That
We
was
did
pretty
not
fun.
have enough room in our brand new
Yeah.
building for all of the people to be.
Someone we would go to meetings with tried to burn down my high school.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know him.
You know that story.
I know
yeah.
him. Yeah, great story.
Do
Anyway.
you guys remember when bomb threats were casual at your school and now
Oh,
they
yeah.
would just shut the shit down forever?
Yeah, it's like everybody,
Oh.
just stay in your room. And it's like, what do you mean? There's a bomb.
Yeah, I didn't
How
understand
big of a
that
bomb
one.
are we talking about here?
Different fucking time, man. Totally
Okay.
different.
So,
It's not a high dollar area by any means, but
Okay.
there are some nice places
yes. Yeah.
for sure. It's not Edgewood.
No.
That's what.
not.
That's like the.
Yes.
That's like the tagline. Aberdeen. At least we're not Edgewood.
Everyone has a place like that. Oh, we call ours Arbutus. It's fine.
Yeah, and just Baltimore. Hey, we're not Detroit.
That's true.
I don't know, man. People with Baltimore, like,
Everybody listening in Detroit, sorry, you suck. But we love you.
go.
I love
Anyway.
Baltimore.
I love Baltimore. It's my fucking city.
Do you
Let's go.
pronounce the T in it? Did you just call it Baltimore?
I did, but I didn't mean to.
So weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Baltimore.
It happens. Yeah.
Say two.
No, I feel on the spot. Continue with your story. This is not roast David time.
We can make
We'll
it.
do that later. Right?
Shut up, Eric.
Okay. Also, my resentment against John Carroll has 100% to do with a man, as I'm sure everybody can tell.
Of course.
Yeah. So these people that I was hanging out with, I lived with my parents. The one chick had rich parents that lived on their boat at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck them.
Yep.
And all of everything in their existence. So we just partied the fuck out of her house. And that's where I drank cough medicine for like 3 years straight. And I think my brain is permanently damaged from it.
Oh, yeah.
I could not look at like solid white walls without seeing like,
Are we talking just Robitussin, or are we talking like promethazine and like?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
okay, yeah, just give me the syrup.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then just popping the Robitussin like capsules after that. I cannot take liquid gels anymore without gagging.
God.
I can't do it. Just my body does not want it.
The best of the worst times.
So gross. And the way that
Gross.
you can feel them in your stomach.
It's a heavy
just not-
body load. It's not good.
It's bad.
It's terrible
It's
for
bad.
your body. Not that any drug is good for your body, right? But that one is just particularly, you should probably read the black label on those boxes.
Yes.
Oh, so all this time we're gallivanting around. My parents are like, what the fuck are you doing? I kept calling them when I was fucked up on cough medicine. And they're like, I would go home and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, I was really drunk, which was my excuse for a really long time. So, of course, they knew something was wrong with me, but they didn't know what. And that continued to, I got a job at the hospital as a security guard, which is also a terrible idea. Why would you ever let me be a security guard?
Okay.
And I met people there who had contacts to pills. Pills were huge then. Mm-hmm. You could actually have access to them. Mm-hmm. And like, these were like the original OCs, the Roxys, the Opana was like my
Opanas
holy
were crazy.
grail. Yes. Opanas were fucking wild.
I never got to try one, but I've seen people on them. They were
Jesus
really?
Christ.
You never did an Opana?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, if you rolled a Xanax, couple of bars into like an original OC, that was an Opana, and it was just, if you threw up, you knew that your fun was coming, and that is terrible. So those were like my.
You might be an addict if you're waiting to vomit for the good time.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
And we would sit on this. We would all sit on the same hill at Ripken Stadium.
The Ironbird Stadium?
Yeah, Ironbird Stadium.
Oh my God.
We would sit on the same hill the whole time and just like wait to get really fucked up on these fucking Opanas. And then just go do whatever it was that we were going to do. And that was like the Vomit Hill, which is so fucking gross.
Oh God.
So if you ever go see an Ironbirds game, wave to that hill for me.
The Vomit Hill. That's
was
terrible.
Yep. It was gross. So from that, obviously, those things ran away. Mm-hmm. Probably the government said that's a really bad pill. We should ban it.
Yeah.
Pills got more expensive, yada yada. So I'm shooting dope. And that became a very lonely habit. Mm-hmm. Those people disappeared. I was dating the guy who was the part of that group at that time. I don't even know why. Not a good person, not attractive, none of that. He had cross eyes because his mom hit him with a shoe and it broke his eye socket. And
oh, that's terrible. Damn it, why did I laugh?
Because he's a fucking horrible person.
Okay, fuck
he was
him.
Abusive mentally. He was abusive physically. He was abusive sexually. He's a terrible person. He deserved to get hit in the eyeball.
How? With a shoe?
Oh, God.
So
I'm not going to say anything that I was going to say because it's going to sound horrible, but his mom hit him with a shoe and it broke his eye socket. In turn, he never got it looked at and he got a cross eye because it, I guess, damaged the muscle.
oh goodness.
Lazy Eye Jeff, if you're out there, go fuck yourself.
Lazy
Eye Jeff. Wow.
Just kidding. He never found recovery. He would never listen to this podcast.
Okay, fair enough.
I hope you're still alive.
Lazy
Yes.
Eye Jeff.
Dude, that's something I've noticed is like women, it's drugs and men, and the men is always a step down, and it's the exact opposite with guys. It's women and drugs, but the women are always better than us.
Turns out he was gay.
Not always. Not always. Shayla was terrible.
What are you talking about, dude? Like, yeah, like some of those.
on, dude.
I disagree. Some of those women.
I don't
are
disagree
straight
at all.
up,
Did
like,
you hear about Lazy Eye Jeff?
Yeah.
Turns out he was gay.
Turns out he was gay, and that's probably why he was so abusive and using so hard. So, yeah.
Jeff.
Because you two are off on your own.
Yeah, they're off on their own.
Well, that just
Poor
means he's
Jeff.
seeing.
Story.
That just means he's seeing double dicks.
Oh, God.
That's terrible.
Double fisting?
Oh God, that's terrible.
Double fisting Lazy Jeff.
Oh my. Double fisting Lazy Eye Jeff. No, that cannot be the name of this podcast. That is terrible.
I'm just saying it's the name
Everything
of like a
about
porno
this
or
is terrible.
something, right? Like,
Oh, my God.
We can make a punk band, Lazy Eye Jeff.
There you
Lazy
go.
Eye Jeff.
Anyway,
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Lazy Eye
Go,
Jeff.
Lazy Eye
Oh my
Joe.
God.
So anyway, super abusive Lazy Eye Jeff got out of the picture, and I started having to sew a little bit and cut a little bit into shit. And this is horrible because I didn't have anything to cut with. So I cut with antidepressants.
Oh God.
So there are people out there who have shot up Wellbutrin and heroin, and I am so fucking sorry to whoever probably damaged the shit out of their body and the shit out of their brain with the shit that I was doing.
My God.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a terrible person. And floor dirt at one point, but I gave that to one specific person because fuck her.
Wait, what was that?
Dirt from the floor of my car.
floor dirt.
Floor dirt.
It's not a drug.
I didn't hear. No, I
think
didn't.
you heard
you
it as
heard it
floor
correctly.
door.
I
was like,
I was-
what's floor door?
I was like, is that like a drug named after Florida? Because that makes sense. There should just be a drug named Florida.
No, I gave this horrible bitch that
Floor
she
dirt.
owed me money, and I was like, all right, well, we're not going to cut your shit with antidepressants because that might make you feel good. We're going to give you some floor dirt. Horrible. And this is the insanity of active addiction of like, fuck you. I'm going to get mine, but you're going to get yours worse.
Oh wow.
So I met this guy when I was selling antidepressant heroin. And he was the John Carroll guy. And I thought, this man is the man of my dreams because he is a pretty boy and his family must have money because he goes to John Carroll and he has this phenomenal, I think he was a rugby player. So he had a rugby scholarship and he was going to school. And I was like, at this time, I'm going back to school because clearly my music, sound, audio engineering degree did not play out. So I was back in school. I was going for computer science. And that was also a really fucked up, toxic thing, naturally. He had a serious alcohol problem, but then...
A rugby player with an alcohol problem. That's a first.
Shocker, shocker, shocker. We played off of each other's addiction problem fucking horribly. I tried to hide the dope habit from him. He tried to play down his alcohol habit. Eventually we were just like, fuck it. Here I am. This is me. I'm a fucking dope fiend. He's like, I'm not going to try that shit. I'm just going to do pills. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to drink and do dope.
I'm going to drink and do dope.
Yep. So we were just fucking horrible to each other. And only through step work did I find out, yes, I am an abuser. The first round through steps, that question came up in the fourth step, like, were you abused and did you abuse anybody? It was like, fuck no, I didn't abuse a single person. It was all abuse done to me. No, I abused people. I was verbally abusive to my parents. Fuck yeah, I put them through everything. I was emotionally abusive to people. I put my hands on people. It happened. And unfortunately, it was this asshole that made me realize that.
Did you ever beat up a boyfriend? I could see it happening.
In
Just
one
because I know
circumstance,
I mean, did you deserve it?
he shoved one of my friends and went after her.
He deserved it.
Oh, yeah.
So I
fuck
went
that.
after him and hit the shit out of him.
Hell
And
yeah.
yeah.
Pound it. That's good shit.
Fuck
Good
that
for you.
guy.
But that was it.
I mean, women
But
are
rest in peace,
abusive.
Pete.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
You've been hit by women, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's terrible.
yeah. It's not fair.
No. Because I'm actually like, I had some sort of credo of chivalry and I didn't hit women, but, and you know, a lamp over your head will do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. So
Yeah.
you found you're an abuser.
Sure.
I mean, as long you played both sides of the coin.
I did play
Yes.
both sides of the coin, and for a long time I was just a victim. That's why step work is magic. So, long story short, this guy almost killed two of our friends in a car accident.
Oof.
I gave him the pills, so I held a lot of guilt for that. I gave him a bunch of fucking Valium. My dad had a script of 30s and Valium and all this shit, and he would put it in a safe, and so I learned how to pick the safe, because nothing was safe for me in my parents' house.
No.
Absolutely nothing. He got to the point where he hid the safe and the bottle of pills, and they were finishing their basement because obviously I never lived on my own because I couldn't fucking afford it because I had a dope habit. So I was in my parents' house, and he would hide it in the, what is it? I want to call it asbestos, but it's insulation that they were putting in the wall.
Oh,
He would stuff that fucking bottle in there to try to think that I wouldn't find it. And my fucking addict brain is like, I know that shape from a mile away. I'm going to find that motherfucker in an instant.
Yeah.
And I did.
Nice.
And I learned how to pick every kind of Sentry safe that you can imagine.
Wow.
Which is a skill, but fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Because my ass was not thinking like my dad is going through physical withdrawal like I have been through because I'm stealing his shit.
Yeah.
I was a dirty, dirty thief. I stole everything that was not nailed down. I took jewelry that I didn't even know who it belonged to that was sitting in their room. I had it timed. Like he's a welder. He would go upstairs, take his shower after work. I swear to God, he would bait me too. He would sit this little container out that he would keep a certain number of pills in. And you know how many pills are in your container.
Yeah.
And I would take one. Just thinking he wouldn't fucking notice.
Oh, yeah.
And for a long time, he would tell my mom, she's stealing my shit. And my mom's like, she wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I caused a lot of friction in their relationship. But, so anyway, I gave this man that I was dating, a handful of Valium, a couple of 30s, a bunch of fucking weed. He goes out to the bar, and I tell him, like, I can't make it. I'm too fucked up. So he wrecks hard. 80 miles an hour straight into a telephone pole. Traumatic brain injury he's known this guy since a baby. This guy will never be the same again. He was in shock trauma for 2 months before they moved him to a very special like brain injury unit. And then the guy in the back was supposed to go not too long after that for like a full-on wrestling scholarship. Snapped his fucking tibia.
Ooh.
Straight through.
Ooh, compound.
Snapped his tibia. And
Compounds hurt.
My legs hurt.
driver walked the fuck out.
Of course, he was fucked up.
He was in the middle of the road trying to flag people down for help and shit. He only went to jail for 30 days.
Yeah.
He was facing 30 fucking years.
What?
Yeah. 30 days.
Can I digress real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember last year when that drunk driver ran into the work zone and killed 6 people?
Yes,
Yep.
of course.
She's getting 18 months.
Fuck that.
That's fucking ridiculous.
The best
that.
part?
Killing 6 people while drunk at 100 miles an hour. Ridiculous.
He didn't even get a blow and go in his car when he got out.
What?
Was she drunk?
Jesus Christ.
He got a .25.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of alcohol.
.25. That's just alcohol. That's not even
That's
top
not even-
screen or
yeah.
anything. Took them 3 years to process his ass.
God damn it.
So from the time of the accident, he got to sit in fucking Ashley recovery. The fucking...
Eric.
What about Ashley? Ashley's great, man.
Yeah, I know. Not worthy of this guy.
This guy who almost killed somebody had no remorse. Got to sit in the bougie recovery so that they couldn't catch up with him immediately after. And then just go on with his fucking life.
Yeah.
This person with the brain injuries, parents tried to call him and contact him and like say like, do you want to go see him to make sure that he's okay? Blocked him.
Ugh.
So he wound up going to jail eventually. Both of our habits were taken off at that point. Like, we were just using hard. I get it for him. That guilt, I'm sure, is still eating him up. So he went to jail, and we were good friends with the guy who, he's like, hey, just, like, take care of my girl while I'm in there. And I was like, I don't need taken care of, but that's cool. I have your Connect's number. I don't need anything. So not 2 weeks after, I fucking OD'd in my car, and it was in Park. Thank fucking God.
Yeah.
I remember, so this is where fentanyl was first coming into the city. And that's going to date my recovery, I guess. And
So that's like 2015-ish?
Yeah, it was around when the riots happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just now spilling out in like in a bigger mass.
I mean, you could say it happened when the riots happened. Like, the riots were the, event that happened that made fentanyl kind of spread.
So I remember when I got the bag, they were like, hey, this is some fire shit. Be careful. And I was like, fucking bet. Like, I'm going to go the fuck off. At this point, I was shooting over my neck.
Did you not do testers?
No.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
Shame. I'm a safety nut, so that's me.
And you still fell out.
I still would fall out, yeah. Yeah. But I did, one time I did a tester and fell out. I've done that too. That's scary. That's a lot of fentanyl.
In a week that I had also fallen out, not realized that I had fell out about 3 times by myself in my room. Lost hours.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that until later.
Once.
Yep.
And you said at this time you're shooting in your neck?
By this time I was shooting in my neck. I didn't have any veins, nothing. In between my toes.
You didn't try like your chest
I'm
area?
a fucking dope fiend. Do you think I tried my chest?
Yes, I do. I do think you tried your chest. No? No? There's good veins there.
There's also great veins in your neck that go straight to your fucking head. And that's what I was
You
thinking
can
about.
paralyze yourself using your neck.
Stop it.
man.
Do you think any dope fiend is thinking about paralyzing themselves?
I was.
You are an
Not everyone
anomaly,
can
Eric.
be the boy with the golden tester and the boy with the fucking brain of steel, I guess.
I'm like, man, I gotta test this. What is this? You know, like, let's do a
He is a
reagent
total
test
fucking
real quick.
nerd. He would Google his drugs and everything. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm not.
keep going.
I'm not that type of person, I guess.
He's a total nerd.
a nerd.
He's a nerd.
A drug
He's a
nerd.
drug nerd. Keep going.
I snorted fucking dog antibiotics because they looked like 30s. That's what kind of fucking addict I
that's not
was,
me.
okay?
No, I would have been like,
Good for you.
that dog needs his antibiotics.
I didn't know what they were. There was a slight chance that could have been an oxy. So I snorted it.
You didn't know the pillfinder.com.
Stop it, Eric.
We just talked
Enough
about
of
this.
you. Time.
Pillfinder.com, guys.
Here's the thing. I did not give a fuck.
Yeah.
But that...
No, you're done, Eric. Continue.
There's logic here.
You're done, Eric. I agree, but you're a nerd. Keep going.
So at this time, I was shooting in my neck. I didn't shoot this one.
Yeah.
I snorted it in the car. My friend called me and said, hey, you want to come over and watch the new episode of Better Call Saul? And I was like, all right, cool. Let's do this. It'll be a great time. I can go get real high at your house, too, and I can go to sleep. I don't have to go home. And so I feel really fucked up when I'm driving. And it was like, I feel like my hands are going numb a little bit. This is weird. And I only had to drive a mile. And so I don't remember putting my car in park. I do remember like leaning up and looking out of the sunroof and saying like, wow, that's a really pretty sunset. Look at this shit. And then just lights out. The only thing I remember from that is I was fumbling to get the bag open to try to do more.
Wow.
And I didn't. I'm on a bed of glass. Glass. So my car is gone. There is a fire truck. There are a mess of cop cars. And I'm laying on a bed of glass. And there is not a cop next to me, but there's one over somewhere. And I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. There is way too many like flashing lights for my comfort. Not clicking that it was my fault.
Yeah.
I thought like maybe I had run my car into something. Maybe like run my car into a house. No, they had to break me out of it.
Okay.
I guess my friend had come out, realized that I hadn't made it into his house. Couldn't break the window of the driver's side of my car or like get into my car because it was locked and my keys were still in the ignition. It's really hard to break a car window.
Yeah.
So he had to call the fire department. They had to break my passenger side window to get me out, drag me out.
Did they have to Jaws of Life your car or just...
No, they just smashed the window.
Okay. They smashed the window and they can unlock the door.
Yeah, then they unlock the door.
Jaws of Life, they're cool, but yeah, go ahead.
They're not.
Yeah.
The machine is cool.
Yeah. As a tool, it is a cool tool. So anyway.
I have all this crust all over my mouth and shit. And like just like vomit down my shirt. And I start trying to run and I think I'm running like fucking Superwoman. And I am not. I'm not. No. So the lady cop yanks me down. She's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, where's my car? And she's like, your car's fucking impounded. Yeah. We had to Narcan you 6 times, so you're getting in that ambulance.
Oh, wow.
I was like, no, not me.
Yeah.
No, not me. I didn't get Narcan. No. My phone's gone. My purse is gone. I didn't have a fucking choice. I had to go in there and call my mom from the hospital phone saying, hey, like, I overdosed on heroin and you should come get me. That was a whole shit show. I had to go to treatment. The cop came to my house because they needed a warrant for my phone to go through. And I was like, okay, well, I already remote wiped it because I'm not a fucking idiot.
All right.
and then like encrypted it. Have fun. I signed the warrant and he's like, what are you going to do now? This isn't one of my normal house calls. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to treatment, you little asshole. And he said, I don't think you're ready.
All right.
I was like, okay, fine. And I have not used since.
Yeah.
Are you a one-timer?
I wouldn't call myself that. I tried to quit a couple times, but I am a one-timer as far as like, did I overdose, get told by a cop that I wasn't ready, and then go to treatment, and then just...
Yeah, you did treatment once, and you haven't used it again.
Yeah, I didn't.
That is a one-timer.
Okay, well, I'm a fucking unicorn then.
You're like David.
One-timer. Yeah, we're one-timers.
And Carly, I believe, right?
You're the only retread in here.
I did not know that insurance covered treatment.
Yeah.
Minus you have to pay a hefty deductible, but...
Did you go to Ashley?
No.
Oh.
Okay. So you're in treatment.
So I'm in treatment. I'm fucking mean as shit.
Yeah.
Naturally. Because they told me, hey, you were Narcan. You don't have to go into, whatever they called it.
You
detox.
still have to go in.
Yeah. Well, they were full of shit. So I got to shit myself and throw up next to my roommate who left. God. Naturally. I was too young. I was too old for the young adults, and I was too young for the adults. So I was like this weird
How old were you at this time?
I was 27.
How are you? Okay.
So 25 was like the cutoff for the young adults, and then everyone else was an adult. And I was just in this weird fucking spot. I didn't want to be there, obviously. I was like just unhealthy. I was very, very crazy because I just was. Like I didn't know what to do. So it was the first time that I was quiet. And the first time that I just didn't say much to people other than like, get the fuck out of my face. I need a cigarette. Don't talk to me. No, you cannot have a Newport. I need a lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got out, they're like, you need to go to a recovery house. And I said, I need one that will allow me to go out overnight because I'm working overnight and I cannot lose my job because then I will owe this place $40,000.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, there is none. You're going to have to go home. I was like, that's fine. I'm going to move the fuck out because I don't have anything to spend my money on now. I'm going to save my money.
Yeah.
And I did. It only took a year. But as soon as I got out, I found a home group that had a dog.
Oh.
That was why I made it my home
interests.
group. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of dog was it?
His name was Snapdragon.
Great name.
Snapdragon.
He was a Shar-Pei.
Okay.
And he just wandered around. He was stinky as fuck.
Yeah.
He just wanted pets. And
That's one of the ones with Shar-Peis that have all the folds. Wrinkly dogs.
But he was so cute.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a stinky old fuck. So I was like, I'm coming here every week if Snapdragon's here.
Nice.
And that was my home group until I moved to Anne Arundel County. And full circle was that that guy's crazy wife was going to get rid of her Bengal cat and take him to the shelter.
What?
And she's
Bengal?
like, yeah, he's mine now.
Okay.
That's my baby. She
Okay.
said, I don't like him. He's too hairy. He's going to just fuck up my house. And I'm going to take him to the shelter. I was like, you're going to give me that baby.
Yes.
Give me that boy. And he's mine. That's my boy. So that home group taught me so fucking much because I was in there with an old timer who had like 30.
What was the name of the group?
8 years clean. Anonymous group.
Anonymous group. Okay.
And Japa.
Nice.
So Eric had 30-some years clean. He was so fucking smart. He was around when the whole program started. Mm-hmm. He helped write literature, all this. I learned so much from him.
I know who you're talking about.
Eric with the suspenders?
Yep.
God, I love that man. So fucking smart, so knowledgeable, so quiet and humble. But like when he talked, there was never a time that he didn't have a knowledgeable thing to say. Mm-hmm. So I was so fucking glad that I joined that group. And it was so small for a while that like it was just me, him, and another person that held it all together. And I think that really showed me the importance of, this is why they tell you to get a home group so fast, because you have to show up or else that group might not survive.
Yep.
And my first sponsor she was also an old timer. And I think that's important because I don't want to be one of those people that's like, this is super soft NA now, but that bitch yelled at me.
Yeah.
Like she yelled. She told me how stupid I was being. And I did need that because my mom would never tell me how stupid I was. And I needed another woman to check me and tell me, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to check your bullshit and tell you that this is acceptable behavior because you are being so irrational. And I was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like I almost got married to an insane guy who was stalking me.
Ooh.
We call that manic depression, apparently.
Yes.
So, hey, you get diagnosed with a thing that has also plagued you your whole life. Mm-hmm. And now I actually have a functional relationship with a man who thinks it's funny to do this when I'm shopping for my wedding dress after I'm like, Stanley Cups are so fucking stupid. He makes vinyls, then like stickers and shit. So he's like, here you go. Have one of these stupid fucking Stanley Cups and one of these stupid fucking stickers.
There's actually a hilarious SNL skit called Big Dumb Cup. And it's just three women who just look like the typical Orange County white women with just retarded hats and... sorry, that was a bad word. Stupid hats. Bad R. That was my bad. Apologies. Anyway, we make mistakes. A big stupid hat with a ridiculous feather, and like as the skit is going, the cups just keep getting bigger and bigger until the point where she's just carrying like a bucket, and she was like, "I love my big dumb cup," and it's hilarious. Watch Big Dumb Cup, everybody, and stop buying them.
My sister got me this one. It's a brewmate, and you can seal it and do this.
Oh,
whoa!
She's holding her cup upside down. Everybody,
10 out of 10
this is an audio
recommend.
medium. That's an awesome Big Dumb Cup.
Also,
but okay.
There's little straw.
I did see the cat straw topper.
Yeah,
yes,
it's because my
awesome.
cats eat my straws, so I gotta.
There you go.
Gotta one up them. But
All
yeah,
right. Okay, so you're with this man. He buys you a Big Dumb Cup.
he is a normal person who, he bought me a big dumb cup because it's fucking hilarious because I went on a 40-minute tirade about how stupid Stanley Cups were, and he's just sitting there playing Helldivers like, and I was like, you're not listening to a fucking thing I'm saying. And he's like, I am, I promise.
Yeah. We're listening.
And he's in cahoots with my sister about it. And she's like, it would be funny if you bought her one. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. You guys are awful.
And now you love it.
And now I love it because I gotta stay hydrated. Because
is a leopard print.
It's leopard print, which is not me at all. Mm-hmm. And it says,
well, you had a leopard.
Leopard print mohawk.
I did.
There you go.
That's true. Fuck.
Full circle.
And it says Mrs. Book.
There you go.
Which is my future last name with the hearts and filigree on it.
Oh. Who doesn't like a good filigree?
Me.
Okay, that's fair.
Anyway, he's normal. He's not an addict. He's not in the rooms. But his dad struggled so fucking much last year that we wound up losing him. Oof. This is going to be rough. Get ready. He OD'd on his birthday, on my fiance's birthday, last year. After we took him to treatment in January, we started showing him like where meetings were and all this shit. And it was fucking hard because I was like, bro, like I understand that there are some people that don't make it.
Yeah.
And I know that it's hard because it's your dad. And I have this separation of like, he's a fucking addict. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that like it matters whether or not he did it on purpose, because my fiance CJ has it in his brain that like this was planned, this is that. I was like, he probably did not know what the fuck he had, because there's shit out there that it's making people's skin boil up and all that. I was like, he doesn't know. Yeah. And you'll never know. And does it matter? No. Like, we watched your dad struggle. We watched your dad, all of this. And you should understand, because you're with an addict, that in an instant shit can change. Yeah. And his dad had this insane woman. Of course, who's like my age. Oh. Yeah. And we had a little bit of a rough time because his dad was living in his truck with the woman, and we had to get the truck, so we evicted her, essentially. And she was unkind, and it took me, like, I was talking to my sponsor and I was talking to a bunch of people, and I was like, I feel sorry for this woman, and I am very conflicted because I can't talk to him about it. Because she's an addict as well. She's an addict, and she's also grieving. So she's acting out in some wild ass ways, and she needs help. Yeah. She needs somebody. I'm not gonna be that somebody. I don't fucking like her. She's still a terrible person, but she's got some problems, and he's blaming her, and I'm like, this is between you, Jesus, and the therapist right now, but like, she needs help, and she's struggling, and that's some real. All my sponsor keeps saying is, see, that's step work, and I'm like, shh, yeah, shh, yeah, I don't want to hear that right now. And, but back to my first sponsor being an old timer, I fucking love those people. I am so glad that they are still around. And when I moved from Harford County to Anne Arundel County, I feel like I missed out on that because I joined a women's home group. And I'm not saying that they're hard to deal with, but sometimes they're hard to deal with because you want so badly, you want so badly for it to be that place that it's full of like good vibes and like you can say anything to these people. But the bigger they get, the harder it is to rein that kind of like feeling back in. And so I noped out of that, and I was moving anyway, so I didn't want to like keep driving back and forth across the fucking Key Bridge or whatever bridge it is. Oh yeah. And Dundalk is wild, man. Yes. They are so tight knit, and they are so. That's Dundalk in general. Dude, they give no fucks. Yeah. And I am so with that. Because Dundalk also knows their own reputation. They do. And these people... And they own it. When I joined the home group that I joined, everybody knows everybody's shit. But in the best way. Yep. Of like, all of the men in there are so tight. And all of the women in there are so fucking tight too. But they know how to interact with each other, and it's not fucking weird. Yeah. Like... There's no flirtation. There's no weirdness. Some of them are couples, but they don't sit with each other and make it weird. And I have never seen so many men cry and say that they love each other at their anniversaries. But it feels genuine. Yeah. I'm like, this is what I was missing. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I feel like revitalized in my recovery there, and I changed sponsors. And my sponsor now is, I fucking love her. She is no bullshit, which I also missed because my first sponsor wound up passing away from COVID. Oh. God. She would love Jackie too, who is my current sponsor. But
Jackie who?
Jackie M?
Oh, no. I don't think. Okay.
Blonde hair biker.
Maybe. Wait, Jackie. Is she formerly Jackie C?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is Jackie C.
Keep
Show
going.
me. I'm bad with last initials.
Okay. Keep going.
Blonde biker, gypsy tattoo.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Gruff voice.
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about. Keep going.
Maybe it is Jackie C. I don't know. Last initials are bad for me.
He's on Facebook now.
Keep going.
Oh, Facebook is the worst. But like, Jackie's helped me through the parts of my step work that I'm going through now, which is the character defects.
That Jackie?
That Jackie.
That's your sponsor?
That is my sponsor.
Oh, I like her too. She's awesome.
She's fucking rad.
She's my adopted aunt.
I feel that.
If you tell her David O says I tried to get her on the podcast, we had to reschedule her. I haven't had her yet. Is she in Dundalk now?
Yeah.
I'll get her back.
Get her.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'll tell her.
I love Jackie. Jackie, if you say David O says hi, she will light up. She knows exactly who I am.
I'll tell her when I get out of here. Hey, see?
I love Jackie. Anyway, so your new sponsor, Jackie.
Jackie is fucking awesome.
She is.
Because no bullshit.
She's a badass bitch.
And exactly, she's a badass bitch. She is not
heart of gold.
She is not afraid to tell you fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Or all right. Yesterday she's like, I'm so fucking sorry that I forgot to announce your anniversary when we were at my home group on Thursday. She's like, I forgot to reprogram your last initial in my phone. I was like, all right. And she's like, I'm so fucking sorry. I was like, this is too fucking funny. Yeah. I'm sorry, dude. She's like, you're not mad at me? I was like, no, I'm not mad at you.
Whatever.
Like,
yeah.
It's better than my last sponsor who called me Emily with the blue hair and never knew my last initial. Oh. It's like, bitch, what if I dyed my hair?
Yeah. Yeah. What if I'm going through and shit and I turn myself into a ginger?
What if I go through my red hair phase again? You don't want that.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no. Headphones are coming off.
All right, let's fix that. Anyway, so we're going through the defect stuff right now, which is
a lot.
So great. I love it though.
Oh yeah.
Like, everybody's afraid of the 4-step. I love the 4-step because it's so important to keep getting that shit out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like many people, I was raised Catholic. So got that nice Catholic guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't understand that, but
we have so many Catholics on the podcast.
I wish that we could start taking like statistic inventory of like how many people were raised Christian and Catholic.
That'd be lovely.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of
It does.
It's a Catholic state. We're a very heavy Catholic state.
That's what I got bullied for. It's not being Christian.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would applaud you for that.
You got bullied for that?
Yeah, for not being Christian and for being the rich kid. Yeah.
That's weird. Well, for the rich kid,
for being short.
I don't blame that.
Those are like the three.
That.
The rich kid one?
Short's not your fault.
Yeah.
Check your privilege, bro.
Rich kid's not your fault either. Oh yeah, he grew up with a tennis court. He used to touch a turd.
What? Doesn't everyone have that?
No, not everybody has a tennis court.
Shit. You don't have a car for every day of the week?
I do now.
Is that really a thing?
What?
Was that really a thing for like your family?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, Jesus Christ, Eric.
They have 7 cars, so
I have 7 cars.
Yeah, and your dad's a muscle car guy. I know that. Yeah.
Muscle cars suck.
Yeah. I like
70s muscle cars.
The new Corvette looks dope. I will give him that.
Anyway,
you can't see anything out of them.
It's so cool.
I met my fiance because of car culture.
Okay.
It's very big.
The new
for us.
Corvette looks like a Ferrari. It's really cool. Actually, I don't like cars.
Well, let's wrap this up so we can get to questions.
Yeah,
All right.
okay. All right. So I fucking love step work.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Sponsoring people, hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Because they teach you so much about yourself.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 recommend it. I have people in my home group who say that they're not open to sponsorship, and I laugh at them because I'm like, come on, man, you're selling yourself short.
Yeah.
I owe everything good that has ever happened in my life to this program. I got my job because of this program, and I've only got to stay with it and succeed more and get to do, like, they talk about beyond your wildest dreams. This shit, I didn't even have dreams. So I got to make my dreams. I got a stable relationship. I have a fucking house.
That's the title, Eric. I got to make my dreams.
I have a house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a millennial with a house.
Yeah.
Like, that should say it all.
Yeah.
And I finally got to feel happy instead of like the feelings wheel of sad, mad, okay. There's a little slice that's called happy.
Yeah.
And I get to live in that.
Nice. All right. We definitely have some questions. Who would like to go first?
I will.
All right.
What? Sorry.
Well, every time I don't, I end up like
Losing your question.
losing my questions, and I'm fucking sick of it. So
Go.
Hell yes.
So throughout your story, you talked about all these terrible things that you did. So how have you worked through that guilt and shame to finally like self-forgiveness?
Well, I go to a lot of therapy for one.
Okay.
I do my best to, if I'm still in those people's lives, I don't necessarily directly make those amends because I know how shitty it feels to constantly have those things brought up. So I try to make the indirect amends, like to my parents. If they need something done, they're like, oh, I need to like, I don't know, get a load of mulch. Or like, I need help in the garden. Or like, I need help with like Easter dinner or something because they still do shit like that. I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring like 8 side dishes. Or like, you can use my truck or whatever it is that they need. So I just try to show up instead of never talk about it. I mean, obviously with them, I've tried to say sorry, but they're like, oh no, it's okay. You're clean now. But I don't think that's enough. So just trying to reverse that bad karma as best as I can.
Nice. What you got, Eric?
So we were talking about video games before you started.
Son of a bitch. God damn it, I fucking knew it.
You can, maybe. Make it a short answer.
What is your go-to, like, I want to binge video game right now?
Oh, man.
Like, you want to, like, lose 12 hours of your time.
Letting him go. Second. Regret it.
You know?
If I want to lose 12 hours, I'm going to pick a cozy game.
Okay. Like what?
I'm not going to say Stardew Valley because that game gives me anxiety.
Like you were going to say Stardew or Animal Crossing when you said cozy, but
no, I hate Tom Nook with a passion. He's a fucking greedy little shit.
I did get his golden shovel once.
We're out of this.
That's cool.
This is just you two.
Okay.
What's up? If you're talking about Pokemon Red and Blue, I'm game. But like,
we were just Animal Crossing. You didn't play Animal Crossing?
I will do
I'm
it.
Usually out of it too.
A Nuzlocke.
Nuzlocke.
Okay. Well, since you don't know what that is, we're not going to talk about it.
Let me bring my other computer up.
Okay, Google that and next question.
Is it on Steam?
Next question.
It's a
Next
type,
question.
It's a type of Pokemon game.
Oh, I have no. This is a game within Pokemon. This is like fucking Gwent. Is that what this is?
Oh God.
Is this Gwent?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Witcher.
Okay, we're done nerding.
Okay.
You're cut off. You're done. All right, anyway. Sticking with the fun questions. You have lots of tattoos.
I do.
It's a 2-part.
Lots of tattoos.
How many
cool.
tattoos do you have?
Oh fuck. Do you count sleeves as one whole tattoo?
I don't count that as one.
I never know if that's the answer.
A sleeve would be multiple tattoos, though.
This is one because it's homogenous.
Well, wait. Were your sleeves done at one time?
What do you mean?
Well,
No,
like
they're
David,
never.
yours is
This was
like
3.
a bunch of different tattoos coming together.
So this is all different tattoos. A half sleeve. That's all one tattoo broken
So
up
what they're
into
asking
3 sessions.
is your like Eevee evolution. Did you like start with one and then decide that you wanted to keep going, or was like that your whole plan?
Yeah.
So we did that outline all
God,
at
you
once.
fucking idiots.
Okay, so that's one tattoo.
Because there's a cover up in there.
It's a one tattoo. Oh, well,
Okay.
the cover up would be 2 tattoos.
Technically, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a painting under that painting, it's still there.
It's a shitty painting that was facing the
Is that a
wrong way.
Venus flytrap?
They are. They're Venus flytraps. They're
Okay.
like little dahlias and
So
lots of
rough number.
poisonous flowers.
2 dozen?
I guess.
Okay. And it's this. The follow-up is your favorite tattoo.
Oh man.
Gotta pick one.
You went in with both, just sleeves for both ideas. That's really cool. That's dope.
I wish I had done that.
That's so cool.
Like
I know, yeah.
Retrospectively, I wish I had done that, but
What can you do?
I was foolish.
My favorite one is the one that I just got, I think. It's a huge, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, kitsune? Like the fox? The nine-tailed fox?
Okay. Yeah. The Japanese.
The Japanese,
Yes.
like, fairy tale thing.
Yeah, like they ward off bad spirits.
Yeah. There's actually a really good
There's a game with one in it.
Love, Death, and Robots episode about that.
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm like, I saw a really cool animation on this. Yeah.
Really good. All right. Can I ask another serious question?
Go right ahead, David.
Okay. All right. Fantastic answer. This is going to be for both of my women, because you've both been in women-based home groups, and I don't know. I feel, and I want your opinion. Is it more difficult for women in recovery to develop a network? Because guys, I think, are really easy. We're just like, oh, you like sports? I like sports too. Like, you like cars? I like cars easy too. We're idiots, and it's really easy for. Yes, we are.
We're not.
It's easier for us to have big networks of men. Well, because there's more men than women. You generally in recovery. So how much? Where are the difficulties in relating to other women and breaking into certain cliques or factions, and how does that change your recovery?
That's a multi-layered answer, I think.
It's a difficult question.
When you it's harder, I think, for women to break into other women's cliques. Because
Absolutely.
First you have to kind of like, it's not like being accepted, but you have to figure out where you might be able to break in. Kind of like, where can I sit in the high school cafeteria where they're not going to boot me out of the table or ice me out? And then I have a lot of difficulty because I'm not a mom, so I can't relate to that. And like, I don't work in a typical field, and that kind of, I don't know, people don't want to talk about video games all the time.
That's not true. But okay,
a lot of
I love video games.
See, I have to find people like that who are like, I want to talk about video games. I want to talk about cars. I want to talk about these things, and I have to like bring them up. And then sometimes people are like, I don't want to fucking talk to you, or like, why are you talking about that? Or they see you as like, oh, you're the pick me girl. I don't want to talk to you, pick me girl.
And don't take this the wrong way. Both of you aren't exactly the girly girl types.
Right,
either.
Correct.
So you have to feel that out. And that's hard.
Yeah. Maybe. Same.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to word it.
Okay.
I think the hardest thing for me with the group of women that I've like found myself in and out of, like we'll be close at times and I'll like whatever. There's a lot of their relationship is with somebody else in recovery.
Okay.
So a lot of like Allie and Dan, or Christina and Martin, and Amber and Joe, like that, they all have a significant other in recovery. And I feel like sometimes that makes me hesitant. Not that they've ever been like, oh, it's only a couple thing you can't come. Yeah. But I think that's some of the barrier that I face. Because I don't think like my whole life is all in.
Yeah.
Not until this moment did I ever think about that. But that is so fucking on point. And like, some of the shit that I do doesn't involve my friends in recovery. My whole life doesn't involve that anymore. There was a time where it did, where all of my friends were in recovery, and all the things that I did revolved around recovery. But as my life has grown over the years, like, not all of my friends are in recovery. I have a whole group of people that we're going on a trip to Tennessee in a little bit, to my favorite fucking car show, to Wookiees in the Woods, and
is it in Great Smoky? In Smoky Mountains?
Pretty much.
Nice.
It's in close to Pigeon Forge. It's at Fontana Dam.
I got married in Pigeon Forge.
It's so fucking pretty down there. I love it. It's my favorite fucking trip of the year.
I love what's happening right now.
Me too.
Great group of fucking dudes that are going down there with us. There's no cell phone service. We're in the goddamn woods. They can drink their beer. We don't give a shit. I literally do not care. Me and CJ don't drink. We have a good time. We sit out by the bonfire. We make fucking really awful food. And, like, that's our vibe.
Yeah.
And nobody from recovery is there. And sometimes people get weird about that. And sometimes the girls are like, well, why don't you date anybody in the rooms? And I'm like, I found this man by chance. You know? And he just happens to not use. So, like, back off a little bit. But also, like, the last time I was dating someone in recovery, it fucking sucked.
Yeah. My sponsor always says when you're dating people in recovery, you're fishing in a polluted pond. And it's true. It's true to an extent. All right. So to you, Carly, what question you got?
Well, that goes kind of, I guess, something I wrote down because I was curious. Goes right into my next question. Where is it? So you're with your fiance not being in recovery. How do you balance
perfect segue.
Both recovery and like your outside life?
I always make my home group. I always go to those meetings. My sponsor comes over when we do our recovery kind of stuff. We have the upstairs to our house that has a secondary office, so we go up there, and then he kind of hangs out, does whatever the fuck he does. You know, goes in the garage and messes with the BMW or has his friends over. When I do my recovery related things, it's just like kind of outside the house. He can come if he wants to. He knows my sponsees, you know, they come over, they do step work. He knows all about it. But we can keep it separated and integrated without it being too close, if that makes sense. Like he's well aware of the program. Like I said, his father was in it. If we went on the whitewater rafting trip, I'd definitely invite him, but I don't think I'm ever going to do that again. Been there.
I've always wanted to do that.
It's an experience.
Out in Western Maryland? That one?
No, it's in West Virginia. Yeah. It's cool, but you got to wear a wetsuit.
Yeah.
A borrowed wetsuit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I might buy my own on that one.
They're expensive.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
That seems gross.
Yeah.
Borrowed wetsuit, that's gross. All right. So you just keep things separate?
He always asks about my step work. He's just like, hey, are you still keeping up with it? I guess trying to keep me on point. When I go over my step, he's like, was that good? Like, do you feel some type of way about it? And we kind of check in with each other.
Yeah.
If we go somewhere, like, my friend just had a going away party and it was at a brewery, and he's like, are you okay with this? Like, do we need to like leave? Do you want to not be here long? Or like, and if I tell him like, this is fucked up, I don't want to smell all this fucking beer, then he's like,
it's time to go.
Yep.
Nice. All right. What you got, Eric? A serious question, please.
I am. I'm gonna stick with the kind of the video game stuff, but I'm gonna reframe it. So where's one area in your life where addiction is still present? It might not be drugs or alcohol, but it could be the coffee you're holding in your hand, or
this is water.
Oh.
Why are you assuming?
Fuck you, Eric.
That's big. Hey, I mean, caffeine's a big one for us, especially early.
It is. Caffeine and nicotine.
I would call that the no, it's not really a speedball, is it? But it's like a little tiny thing.
The recovery speedball, caffeine and nicotine.
Well,
Don't
caffeine,
make me feel weird about what I'm doing.
Hey, the way people drink caffeine in recovery is a little bit usy. But what are you doing that sometimes you might kind of take a little too far?
Oh,
Video games, cars.
definitely cars. Absolutely cars. So
Like, what does that even mean?
So we have a problem in our house where we have a rotating like pool of titles sometimes to cars.
Okay.
Before I met my fiance, he had way worse of a problem with flipping cars.
So how many cars do you guys have right now?
So we have the Jetta, we have the BMW, we have my R, we have his dad's truck, which needs to go. We have his truck, we have the Audi.
That's 6.
That's 6 now. At one point we had 8 sitting at our house.
Why?
Because
Where do you park them all? In the yard?
Well, they're in Hartford County. Or no, you're in
we're in
Dundalk.
Dundalk.
Huh.
We have a corner lot.
Oh, there you go.
So you got some
You're
yard.
good to go.
And a garage.
You got a yard.
With a carport.
Yeah, there you go.
So my R32 is the car that I overdosed in, but it is my dream car, and I have fixed it up ever since. And it's a show car, but it's also like very functional. It drives really well on those back roads in Tennessee. And like I said, it's the Wookiees in the Woods car show.
Are you doing the Tail of the Dragon?
Always.
Nice.
Absolutely. We've
So you do
done
car shows too. You go to Carlisle is the one my dad goes to.
Which
every
one?
year.
Junk
The
Food?
Corvette show in Carlisle. I don't
Primarily European car shows, like Volkswagen stuff.
know. Fuck yeah, Volkswagen.
Women of Wolfsburg.
Just bought a new Volkswagen.
Ooh, neat.
What
Nice.
kind?
I got an e-Golf because
Ooh.
yeah, I did it. I don't drive a
The
lot.
brand new one, or
No, I got 2015.
Good luck.
I will be fine. I don't drive very
My
far.
fiance works for Volkswagen of America.
Does he? Does
yes,
he
he
know?
does.
Does he have like part like recommendations and stuff for that stuff like that?
Yeah, that's like our bread and butter, my guy.
Oh,
we have a
cool.
brand new Audi sitting out there because he gets this really awesome thing where it's a company lease, but we get to like just turn it in and then get a
that's
brand new
dope.
one again.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
dope.
Dude, fuck yeah. Like, he has better job perks than I do now with, like, the Xbox and the free games and, like, all that shit. I was like, I got this Xbox Game Pass subscription. He's like, fuck you, I got a card. I'm like,
Yeah,
Yours is way more functional than mine.
yeah.
I'm always a little jealous of people who get cars.
Okay,
Like,
we still have to pay for it, but with insurance,
I get it.
It comes
My-
insured, all
my
right?
mom
It's brand
gets
new.
a
And
car
it was
for work like
it was
that.
cheaper than my fucking 2020 Tiguan that I had bought.
Yeah.
It's like fucking $400.
Does he drive for work, or is that just a perk?
No.
It's just a perk. That's okay.
We live 5 miles from his job.
So cars are your addiction.
Cars are
okay.
your
What else?
addiction.
What others?
You can buy parts, you know,
Oh, yeah.
driving fast.
So you're, that's not good.
I don't drive fast unsafely. I do it where we should.
On a track?
We're building a drift car.
Ooh,
So we
That's
have
cool.
we have a 3 Series BMW that we're building up. It's halfway in pieces right now, but that way we can safely drive fast and run into things and be bad at it, but also be good at it.
I've always wanted to do a demolition derby.
Oh, my buddy has a demo car that's a Buick Regal.
Nice.
As soon as he's fully recovered
Don't
from
they
back
do that in
surgery.
Dover?
Yeah, there's one
Dover
in
and
Delaware.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and in Delaware there's a demolition derby. And I know you can buy a car and just go
Go to
do
the
it.
fucking junkyard, find
Yeah.
one that still runs, and just eat that
Go tear
motherfucker
it
into
up.
another
Hell
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I want to do that. I will. I will
So
one day.
I guess like adrenaline junkie. I had a problem with purses and shoes for a little while, but I kind of I stopped because there's only so many purses and shoes that you can buy.
That's true.
Purses I don't get. I've never.
Because
I
you
don't get
always
purses,
you
but-
always need something to put your shit in. And sometimes they're too big and sometimes they're too small. And then I
Yeah.
finally found one that like I can put my vape upright in and it won't fucking like spill out of. I can also throw my water in, not lose like my chapstick. My little cat brass knuckles will be in, and like my
You have cat brass knuckle. That's awesome. Do you have them on? Oh, you brought them in the podcast? These people might be weird. I have to defend myself.
No, dude, they just sit in your purse.
No, I
They're
get
her
it.
protection.
at 'em.
Protection.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
They're
Can I see
right
those?
for the eyes.
God.
Yeah.
Holy
Aren't they
crap.
cute?
They are adorable.
They
And
are
deadly at the same
acrylic,
time.
so they are legal. So I don't get in trouble.
Yeah, they're not full brass. Oh, yeah, these are plastic knuckles, but good God.
But they're
that would
gonna
do
take
some
your eyes out.
damage.
We'll take your eyes out.
That'll damage some people.
Open up.
Oh God, no! Why me? Oh,
They're feeling some sort of rage today.
Yeah.
Garrett's not
Just in
home,
case.
So.
oh, yeah. Well, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
All right. To me. All right. This is gonna be a two-parter. So I know Eric.
Everything's a fucking two-parter.
Well, no, it makes sense. It's two
This is
separate
about-
questions, but they go together.
You didn't start and you're like on question 5. Keep going.
I'm sorry. So self-deprecation is one of me and Eric's favorite pastimes.
Fucking right.
I love it. And you talked about self-deprecation as well. So, and from your story, you kept referring to yourself as a fat girl, which made me sad. I have 4 sisters, and that just, it hurts my heart. So how have you built up your self-esteem through recovery and and kind of tried to curb your self-deprecation, or at least not believe it as much?
All right. So believe it or not, I was a fat heroin addict somehow. Figure
It does
that
happen.
out.
It does happen.
I think it's because I had so many problems with my liver and my kidneys that my body was just like, I don't know what to do with all of this. So my first year in recovery, I felt so bad about myself that I lost like 70 pounds.
Good for you.
So that really helped. I started going to the gym. I figured out like, hey, you probably shouldn't eat total shit, and you're not like poor, so you don't have to steal hot dogs from the Dollar Tree anymore and eat that. Yeah, they were easy to steal.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Because
mean-
it just kind of,
Ew.
I'm going to make fun of you for being a rich kid if you don't stop it.
That's fine.
You rich non-Catholic motherfucker.
Dude, he's immune.
Yeah.
He's probably a sociopath.
I will find
Anyway.
that little hole and I will pick at it.
I don't think you could, but that's okay.
Dude, I've been trying for a decade. It's hard.
Give me 20 minutes off this podcast and I'll find it.
Anyway.
And I was a cutter for a long time, so I was very like,
God damn it, Eric.
I had like lots of wow, you are such
Did
a
you just
piece
say
of
what?
shit.
Yeah,
That was him?
like it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I still have the scars, man.
Yeah,
I
so-
know. It's fine.
I would not wear shorts, and I would not wear short sleeve shirts for a very long time. So I tattooed all over it. Like, it's all
See,
covered.
No, I like my scars. I don't want to get
See,
rid of them.
I'm really pale,
that's
so they were
creepy,
actually paler than my own skin.
Yeah.
So like they stuck out really bad. So I feel like I took the active efforts to just be like, if I don't like this about myself and I can change it, just fucking change it already.
Yeah.
Like, you already changed the worst part of you, which is being a dirty drug addict. So let's just take the smaller parts and turn that around a little bit. It can't be that hard.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Nice. All right. Carly?
Well, you called your brother a piece of shit.
Yes.
And there was always competition, it seemed, with whether it was spoken or not, with you and your sister. How is your relationship with them now?
Ooh, my brother. So he went in the military when he was 17. My mom had to sign for him, and he was 17 in the year 2000. And so he was getting out of basic training when 9/11 happened. So he went to war, and now he's a little crazy.
Yeah.
And he's a serious alcoholic. So our relationship isn't great.
What branch did he go in?
He was in the Mountain Division,
Marines?
Army.
Army. Okay.
Army.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in 151st Mountain. Yeah, so he saw some shit.
Yep. Yep.
I'll never know. I'll never understand it. I try to give him some leeway because I have no idea what the fuck he went through. And he was young. Like, young.
Yep.
And then he had a kid immediately afterwards, so he never had an adjustment period.
Okay.
So I still think he's a piece of shit. He still does piece of shit things. He was a piece of shit dad, so I answer when he calls. I let him talk for the fucking 45 minutes that he drunk rambles. So it's better than it was when we were younger, I guess. My sister and I, thick as fucking thieves.
Nice.
That's my road dog.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's your relationship with your sisters?
Much better than it was.
Nice.
I feel like Melissa and I are together a lot more than we ever used to be.
You've been a fantastic aunt recently. I just want to let you know that.
Well, thank you.
Good. Just, you've been very great.
But then the other one's in Hagerstown, so I don't see them as much as I would like to.
Yeah, it's a bop.
But I still, like, it was nice. Like, we all actually, the three of us FaceTimed earlier this week, like, together. I was like, that's something new.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Nice.
Talk for a little bit. But it used to be like whenever they needed something, they would like, hey, are you free to do this? Can you come do this? I need you to do this.
Very transactional relationship.
And that's changed. Other than like, obviously, like I know my sister needs me right now with my niece. So that's different because it was like whatever you need, just ask and I'll be there. But so that's been different because it's not every conversation is something that is transactional.
Nice.
Like it's actually normal.
Fuck
So
yeah.
it feels good.
Yeah. Eric, how are you and your sister?
She's there.
Okay, fair enough. And I have 4 sisters. 3 of them are lovely ladies. Love them very much. And we talk infrequently, but frequently enough. And my one sister is a total worst human I've ever met. And I haven't talked to her in
A year?
5 years.
I thought
5 years.
it'd been...
No.
I thought you talked to her more recently than that. You said she, like, did stuff recently when your mom was, like, all fucked up and shit.
No, we didn't talk to her.
Oh, she just stole...
Yeah, she just stole a whole bunch of
Okay.
money from my stroke-ridden mother while she was in the
Okay,
hospital.
so she just came in, grabbed some stuff, and dipped out.
Yeah, total piece of shit. None of us actually talked to her. Yeah, worst human being I've ever met. And Eric, do you have a final question?
No, I'm out.
You're out. I have a final question.
You're gonna ask about manic depression?
No,
No.
I'll leave that to you.
No, go ahead. Nope.
No, I have a totally different
Okay,
question.
go ahead.
So, metal music. Feeling different. How much was that a good and a bad thing when you were young? Because like, yeah, when I was young, I felt different than everybody else. But there was this whole, metal community where they were talking about dark stuff and emotional stuff that I latched onto and helped and hurt me. It separated me, and but it also gave me people to identify with, and ultimately in the long run, metal is an amazing community that because a lot of those guys that I grew up with are now clean as well, and which is cool. They're either clean or they're dead, which sucks. But so the metal community, how good and bad has it been for your addiction and recovery?
So, same thing. It separated me, but I already had that separation.
Exactly.
So that really didn't add any bigger blocker, you know? So what it really did for me, I think, was start giving me that kind of passion for wow, what else is there out there? Here's this top layer of the iceberg that I just found. And then I would spend hours in my fucking room just going deeper and deeper into the internet and finding what the fuck else is music, and it just kept piling and piling and piling on. So I had eventually you just start making weird ass friends at these shows. And then you keep listening to more and more out there music. And again, the metal community, they're super tight knit.
Yes.
And it reminds me of gamers.
And people on the outside don't realize how positive it really is.
No.
Yeah.
You start going to these shows and these people are they will look out for you.
Yeah.
If there's a tiny person in the pit getting their ass kicked, they will yank that person right out. They will not let anyone punch anyone in the face.
Yep.
Nope. None of that shit.
Yep.
So that sense of camaraderie kind of that will take you far, I think. If you can see that kind of these people are not big and scary.
Yeah.
They are absolute good humans with good hearts that will take care of each other.
Yeah.
And you don't really see that kind of humanity outside of the rooms.
Yeah.
You can see that with
there's a level of emotional intelligence
Yes.
that I found where we can get raw and talk about really dark shit that a lot of people don't talk about.
And I enjoy the dark lyrics.
Yeah, you got to do the shadow work.
Yep.
For sure.
I don't like surface shit, so that kind of deep, dark, scary pit of your soul music is pretty good.
Yep. And Carly, you want to ask your last question?
No.
Oh, we can talk about manic depression.
I know you had brought it up very subtly. So just the dealing with the dual diagnosis. Ooh. How are you managing that?
So I think it took a really long time for me to actually get to the point where I wanted to seek help. Because, before when I was younger and I was going through the depression and trying to deal with cutting, and that was kind of an addiction for me. My parents.
Do you have a clean date for cutting?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, it's a ritual. That's the thing. It reminds me a lot of heroin, actually.
Absolutely.
It reminds me the most of heroin. Weirdly,
I had a specific box that I kept everything in
because it's a whole routine, and then you have to and then there's the cleaning part afterwards, which is its own ritual.
I was still burning for the first 2 years of my recovery.
Yep.
So I got a clean date for that.
My old sponsee almost got he was getting to the point of doing mini surgeries where it gets to there's a whole nother level it can get to, which is crazy.
That's too much.
Oh.
So yeah.
My parents didn't really believe in that was a problem. And so eventually I did go to some sort of therapist when I was younger, but it didn't really do anything. They wanted to put me on Zoloft. My mom's fuck that. No, you're a child. So thank you, Mom, for that. Then when I was older, it just took a while of something isn't right. I can't keep acting like this. Like I said, I almost got married to some fucking stalker.
Well, he liked you.
4-day relationship, my guy. 4 days.
What do you mean?
4 days.
You said yes? After 4
I
days?
said yes on the third day. He had just had his other relationship. What was it? It was a marriage. He had just had his last marriage completely and totally divorced, finalized on the second day.
That's some codependency.
Wow.
Real codependency right there.
So then, turns out he was a schizophrenic. Now he's in the special jail for crazy people up on the hill.
T. Perkins.
Yeah, so
that place is scary.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he wrote me a letter from there long after that, and I don't know how he got my address.
Like a mall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, after that whole thing happened, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And when I finally got that diagnosis, I was like, things are starting to make sense. Mm-hmm. But it takes trial and error with like medication and all that kind of shit. And right now I'm having the really great fun of coming off of Effexor, which is terrible. I think it was actually banned in Europe or parts of Europe because it's so shitty to come off of. But apparently you're not supposed to be on it if you're bipolar, and my doctor really sucked, so he put me on it. But I feel better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stigma around, like, everybody thinks that, oh my god, you're so happy all the time, and then you come down and you're so sad and you want to lay in bed all the time. Like, it's really not like that. A lot of the mania can actually be like irritability and anger, and I think that's probably what I get more of, rather than like, oh, I'm so happy-go-lucky, I'm gonna spend all of my money. But I really applaud my fiance for living with that. He's so even-keeled that, like, God love him, he just lives through this shit. But it's another thing that you have to take accountability for, just like your recovery, where, like, if you're gonna run rampant on this part of your fucking disease, then you're gonna wreak some fucking havoc. You're probably gonna wind up using.
It's literally 2 recoveries in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're working with your mental health, depression, and our substance abuse.
And I really encourage everybody to make sure that they keep their mental health in check, because, God,
it can get dark.
It can.
Yep. All right. Well, we are about out of time, but we would like to take... Well, first of all, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Woo! Yeah! You did a great job. 1 quick minute talking to anybody out there who's struggling. What do you have to say directly to them?
Just find somebody to talk to. Don't let that shit inside eat you up. Let it out.
Absolutely.
Even if it's the sky. Sometimes I scream at the sky.
Yeah.
It's great.
And put on some metal music. Go scream.
Oh,
go scream
yeah.
in your car while driving.
That's my
50
favorite
miles an hour.
thing.
Oh yeah, love that. All right, so we would like to thank our guest Emily for joining us today. And here at Podcast Recovery, we're aiming to expand the scope of support for recovering addicts. Accessibility and convenience of helpful services is paramount to combating addiction. We work to bring the message of recovery to every addict, wherever and whenever it is needed. And we believe that a powerful voice of recovery should be obtainable, practical, and at the touch of a button. Every addict deserves to hear a message of hope, and Podcast Recovery is here to provide it. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us once again. Go to all our social media outlets, like, share, subscribe. Please join our Patreon because we are self-supporting and need help keeping the mics on. But most importantly, everybody out there,
Stay safe and stay clean.